Hello and welcome to a new vlog. I will most likely go on a Animal Crossing villager hunt with Jade in a little bit. I was feeling pretty rough in the morning, but I'm feeling a little bit better today, just now, although quite tired. So I think we're just gonna read but talk when I actually go into the island and see what villager it is, and then go back to reading. So we're just gonna like intermittently, not gonna really chat, just gonna, and that would be, maybe you should talk to someone. I have 4.5 hours left of this read, and my plan is to listen to this in my AirPods when I find them, while sitting by the window whilst hunting for Eric or Shep, but also whoever I find. If they call to me, I'll take them. I have a lot of Nook Mile tickets, so this is gonna be fine. Yeah, welcome to the vlog. We'll see how badly I fail. Let's go. Hello, it is Wednesday. There's like a little bit of a pattern I feel in every vlog of mine. Oh, my lips are so dry. So I thought I'll pop in and update you on my progress. So the audiobook was of Maybe You Should Talk to Someone. I have finished this yesterday. I'm actually thinking of running it through Copile because even though it was technically non-fiction, I guess, because it's a therapist talking about her own cases and also her own life and relationship and experience with therapy, we basically follow, I think, 3 or 4, maybe 5 in total lifelines. It was really important. It was really interesting. Some of the plot lines were a bit, I say plot lines, stories, were maybe a little bit more interesting for me personally than others, but I think all of them had a point. I do think at some points it was a bit slow, but I overall really enjoyed it. But I'm basically anticipating 4 stars. That is my prediction for that. But that means I don't have an audiobook. I am considering maybe getting The City We Became on audiobook as well. I might check if Script has it or something. But it is day 3 and technically I've finished 1 book, but also very much technically not started anything else either. Cause that was like a leftover from last week and it's Wednesday, my dudes. But it's fine, we still got time. I'm about to start my lunch break. However, I want to answer some YouTube comments first and then mayhaps start a book. Not sure which one, but that could be something we start. One of the books, and I think I'm gonna go with Good Girl, Bad Blood. Just because it's like to do with murder and I'm clearly in the mood not to murder people, although no. No, but to read more about it because as I said, I've been watching Hannibal and it's taking my life over. So yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and start this. Okay, so I've done what, like 20 pages or something so far. I just kind of recaps everything that happened in the first book, which is great because I don't quite remember the names and stuff. I remember what happened, but I don't remember the names. So, but it basically, she released a podcast with the stuff that happened in the past. Plus, there's something mentioned at the very beginning that made me so sad. If you read the first one, it's the loss that she had from the whole shebang, which I'm not gonna say because it's too sad. There were some good points and then there was some counterpoints so far. So one cringy thing was that she was thinking that someone's gonna ask her to be her girlfriend, which is such a weird concept to me at the moment because, like, do people still do that? Like, do people actually say, do you want to be my girlfriend? It just sounded very juvenile. I don't know. maybe I'm just being too harsh, but the plus is that they use the word pizzazzled. And yes, I'm giving it a plus for that because it made me happy. And I'm excited about this. She's dealing with some of the trials now of people being persecuted, I think. I'm not quite sure what's gonna happen, but she had this podcast and she name dropped everyone she thinks is responsible for the murder of the girl from the first book, and I kind of get a feeling that that's what's gonna get her in trouble, because she just dropped those names there for everyone to listen, and it was like top of the charts. The podcast, which was A Good Girl's Guide to Murder, which is the name of the first book. Very clever. I'm excited to get back to this. I think I'm gonna do that after work today. Might edit a video, but I also... Nah, I think I'm gonna just read today. I'm excited though. It's such an easy read, even though I know it's like about murder and stuff. And the first one was definitely also about racial profiling, I think, as well. So there's some good points, I think, in the first book, and I'm excited to see what this one brings, so hurrah! Hi, it's actually after work now, and we actually had dinner, watched another episode of Hannibal, which I don't know why we do that. Every time we're eating, we're watching that, and if you watch the show, you know it's not the most appetizing show, but here we are. I've just tried to put a sock on, and actually my toe, I actually don't think I mentioned this, but basically I screwed up my toe. It's fine. So I couldn't like sleep with covers on my foot or wear a sock because that was too much. It was legitimately so painful. It's ridiculous. It's just G things, I feel. But today it's feeling better, which is great because it's like a fourth day now. And I have sneakers that are really loose, so I'm gonna put that on and go for a tiny walk because I just really want some fresh air. I have put both of the candles that I unboxed in the previous vlog. I put one here and one in the bedroom, and I grossly underestimated how strong they are. And so the whole flat smells so lovely, but I've just recovered from my migraine, so I really need to get some fresh air before I let this, like, you know, because my head's feeling a bit oofy. So, but it smells really lovely, and obviously you can control it by just like blowing the candle off. I just didn't realize I left it because I was still working, so I left it a bit for too long, but I'm happy to say the pink one has burned completely around, so the pool was really nice. As I said, I used to make candles, so I kind of look for these things, and the yellow one didn't quite reach the edge, but it was pretty much at the edge, which is close enough. It smells so good. I think I prefer the yellow one. The yellow one is so amazing. So very happy with them, but I'm really tempted to continue with this, but I also really want to take a tiny walk, and I don't have an audiobook, which is annoying. I was looking for The Giver, but I couldn't find the audiobook for that, and then I might listen to the Yellow Wallpaper, which I really wanted to listen as well, but I'll figure it out, and we'll go for a tiny walk. Oh my god, score! The Yellow Wallpaper is on script. Oh, that's slow.
It is very seldom that mere ordinary people like John and myself secure ancestral halls for the summer. A colonial mansion.
Well, that is very British.
I heard about you long before we met. You're winsome and you're young, at least that's what they said. Underneath your glitter and your gold, you can't deny the fact that you are growing old. You have 1,000 eyes that never fall asleep. Someday I will leave you when I've had enough of your beauty.
I have been on my walk and I finished the Yellow Wallpaper. So the book is very short, I think it's just 150 or so pages, and the story is about a woman who is basically prescribed a rest cure from her, what I think is depression. I think it was referred to as neurosis, which is like a common thing that they used to call it. The dynamic, obviously this is an old book, the dynamic is very much, you know, the man of the house tells you what to do. She hides her journal when John, her husband, who's also her doctor, comes in because, oh, John wouldn't like that. And she's clearly seeking some sort of outlet, and she's basically put into this room with a very ugly yellow wallpaper. And the wallpaper has a very weird and indistinguishable pattern that she starts to look at a lot because she spends a lot of time in the room with nothing to do. She keeps asking to visit her friends and family but gets refused because John is so wise and loves her so much and cares for her so much, which the dialogue around John goes from that to, oh, he pretends to love me, and oh, he pretends to care about me, and he thinks I don't see it, because the story gradually progresses towards her seeing shapes in the patterns and experiencing psychosis to do with the pattern, which also just, I think, really symbolizes her mental state and paranoia, and also just deep fears. Narration was an interesting choice. I can see why they did that, but it's almost like it was sang. A lot of the words at the end would be prolonged as if it's like being like sung to us. So very interesting. I can't decide how I feel about it. I think good. It's an interesting little read. I don't think I can put it through compile because it's more for like lengthier fiction. The author actually suffered herself from depression after she has given birth to her daughter and was prescribed this like rest cure. The story is inspired by her criticism of that. Plus, it also reflects a lot about the family dynamic and the power dynamic within the family, and also autonomy over their own body in a relationship, especially back then. Cool, but now, ow. It is time to go back to this. Hey, I was just putting it in the spreadsheet, and actually Charlotte Perkins, who wrote the Yellow Wallpaper, was American, so I don't know why the audiobook, like I was like sure that it was British, but no. So interesting choice. Okay, by the way, this book and the first one very much have trigger warnings for sexual assault. I can't remember if the first one actually, like, is it on page, but it definitely has the themes and they talk about it and include some details as well, so just something to keep in mind. Thursday, so I have read, so yesterday I spent most of the evening reading, well, literally all of the evening reading, and I am currently on page 190. I read a little bit in the morning actually, so I read like 160 yesterday, and what is that then? 30 in the morning. So I am currently here, which I'm very happy with my progress, because, you know, at first I was a little bit worried that it's not gonna be as fun as the first one was because I wasn't getting into it, and they mentioned a lot of people as if I'm supposed to remember them, but I kind of didn't. But it's now fine. I know who the missing person is. I'm getting into it, I'm following it through. It's just really nice and fun and easy, although obviously it deals with some stuff that's not fun. So fun maybe is the wrong word, but you know what I mean. Like, it's a solve this mystery with me kind of book. So it's another no makeup day for me because I'd rather read than put makeup on, which is a sign to me of a good book. I am currently on a lunch break, so I'm gonna go ahead and read a little bit more of this and come back to you with the progress. I don't know, pages go really fast for me in this book, and that's always a massive plus because it gives me momentum, you know? It's not about how much I read, it's about how time feels when I read this. Anyway. Hello, welcome to... what's today?
Welcome to Saturday.
Saturday.
You're arriving on Saturday. I'm glad you can make it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Aren't you glad?
Yeah, I mean, the alternative is if you don't make it this Saturday, then...
Yeah. So aren't you glad?
Yeah, I'm glad I made it.
Aren't you glad?
I am.
So I actually, since I spoke to you, yesterday was a day, and I don't really want to kind of go into it too much. So I'll just put a thing here. You can read what I said on Instagram. You know. But I have finished Good Girl, Bad Blood. So it took me like 3, but mostly 2 days because I only had like 30 pages to finish on Friday. Put this on Goodreads and I realized that there's gonna be 4 books, so I'm actually really excited about that. I don't know if I like this one a bit less than the first one. I think it was maybe a tiny bit less suspenseful. And I think I like the beginning way less because it took me a little longer to get into it, and I felt like the person that is missing, kind of the story lacked a little bit of conflict, or previous one there was a bit more of a drive for it. But that being said, I still really enjoyed it, especially when we see the little reveal towards the end where you kind of realize why this person is in this situation, like what's the driver there. But I will say that I think maybe in the middle, maybe even less, like 150 pages or something, I had my main suspect be the person or people that it ended up being. But that being said, I don't know if the author just introduced them in a way that she wants you to think that, or if I just guessed it, because there was actually like no indication that they would be, but I was like instantly like, aha, they're responsible. I don't know, I just really enjoyed it. This one was like less spooky, I think, than the first one as well, but just as the first one, it's very easy to read, it's very enjoyable to me at least, and I want the next ones. And I also want something similar, so if you know, because sometimes I feel like I just need something like this, so if you know something similar, or also on the adult side of things, because this is young adult, so there were a couple of things that were kind of like, alright. And also I can never just like go over the fact that this is someone who's 18 solving all of the stuff. Well, obviously the police were not helping, but like still, it just seems like, you know, the convenience of it all, like, and everything would just fall into place. Anyway, yeah, if you know of any other good kind of murder mysteries, please let me know, because I'd like to make a TBR of those. And then this morning I was straightening my hair and I started listening to The City We Became. I wanted to read that purely physically, but my credit just kicked in, and I thought, might as well. Boy, I started listening to this and it's really interestingly done. There are some sound effects in the background as well. The narration so far is more of a performance, and I really am enjoying it. It's interesting. I'm not far in though. I'm just like an hour in, I think. And I'm probably gonna swap in between, and I don't know, Logan is kind of trying to read it with me, but I don't know how that's gonna go. If I'm gonna listen without him, or I don't know. We'll maybe work it out. Currently, I think I'm going to start the Wicker King. I have 2 days left. 1.5 kind of, because it's already 6 o'clock in the evening on a Saturday, and I have this whole book and a graphic novel, a comic. I have a comic. Like, I take my time with comics as well, so I don't like just fly through them. But anyway, The Wicker King, the book that I'm so intrigued by. So this is about, and maybe I'll tell you once I start reading a little bit more, but by what I understand, again, starts with light pages, ends in dark pages, and it's all about schizophrenia and 2 guys going through it. One is experiencing an ideal, one is kind of like going with it. So I've seen extremely good reviews on Goodreads. My main concerns are, I've seen some bad reviews. Well, I clicked on bad reviews. I wanted to see what the bad reviews are talking about. And a lot of them said that it has an extremely toxic relationship. Now, if there is an extremely toxic relationship, that is clear that it's an extremely toxic relationship and it's a story about that, I don't mind it. I only mind that when it's a relationship that could be considered toxic that is presented in a way that it's fine. I don't mind flawed characters in books. I don't mind flawed relationships. I'm fine with that as long as it's not disguised as if it's not, as long as it's self-aware basically, and as long as we're aware. That's if anything, it's interesting to read. My main concern is whether or not this is going to have mental health romanticized. I didn't spend that much time on the reviews because I don't like reading too much before I get my own opinion. I don't usually even go on there, but I don't know, I just so happened to go this time. But I like to not know too much about other people's opinions on a book before I read it, just so it doesn't influence me too much. I think it can be dramatized, and if that also could be okay if it's just for the drama's sake, and if it's kind of like self-aware of it and doesn't send a different message. But I'm hoping it's not gonna be romanticized, but it could happen. As long as the difficulties are also not minimized, then maybe. But yeah, we'll see. This is what my plan is, so I think I'm gonna get this book naked and ready for me. So, okay, let's do some reading.
When the silver of this winter nights,
I've read to page 74, so I'm still here. So it's still kind of light pages, but they're getting a bit darker on the edges. Sorry, batteries die. But I am enjoying it, and it's very kind of quick to read. And it's about August and Jack. So Jack is this kind of appears to be like a jock guy who plays sports, but is actually like wants to study engineering or something. And then August is more alternative. And so far we already have a very, very uneven power dynamic between the two. Jack is the one that decides things for basically both of them, and August follows him almost blindly. Very uncomfortable to read about, but also a weird codependence from Jack's side, because August almost kind of like feeds him and takes care of him, and his parents are very absent, so it's an odd one, but it's very much on purpose. I really don't think this is done because, you know, for funsies and to glamorize it. I think it's on purpose, because it's such a big point. I don't think that you could do that accidentally. And it was really funny because there are also twins in this book, and August just met them, and one of the twins is very bossy, and he looked at the other twin and said, like, is he always telling you what to do? And like crinkle his nose, which is hilarious because I don't think that he understands that he's also in that kind of situation. The story is told in kind of like jumps. It's not very coherent. It's tiny snippets, like each chapter is like 1 or 2 pages, and it's a snippet of a situation. Well, no, there is an overarching plot, I think, but currently is just describing certain situations that obviously like don't, like there could be like months or weeks or just days and hours between each chapter, and it doesn't actually tell you how long it's been, but it doesn't flow as your normal books usually do. And I think it's just taking me a little while to get into that because I also don't feel like I got a chance to be introduced to the characters to the point where I really care. So a bit less enthused than I thought I would be, but it's just starting to get a little bit better, I think. So It's almost 1 o'clock. I did some reading with my Patreons, set it up like a live stream thing, and we sat and read for a little bit. I'm on page 140 right here. I'm getting into the gray territory now. Still similar thoughts. I'm not too into it, but it's not bad. Carry on, and it reads fast, but I think it would read much faster if I was a bit more invested in it. But I'm about to just like take my makeup off and go to bed because it's late. And I'll speak to you tomorrow. Hello, Sunday. I've just got back from the park. We just went there for a tiny bit because it's Cody's birthday. I just carried, well, it was also Matthew's birthday, so we just gave them some gifts from ourselves and the work team. And I'm back now after a couple of hours, I think, and I'm just gonna go and read because I haven't read anything since I last updated you. Didn't even listen to anything while I was doing my makeup, I was just vibing without it. Also, when you're wearing dungarees and you really need to pee, you do the little dance while you're trying to unbutton yourself. Tell me that's not just me. Still basically on the same page. I have been on the phone to AJ for I think around 3 hours. So I've done no reading whatsoever, but I don't regret it because friends before books. Because it's real people. And my head is feeling a bit off, so that's not great, but I'm gonna continue reading for a bit now, I think, and see how far I go. And if I by some I'm not gonna finish, but if by some miracle I finish this book, which I won't, then I'll just wrap it up today, because and it will be hilarious that the one that I didn't read was a comic. But let's see what I can do with the time that we have now, which is now currently 10 o'clock, and I work tomorrow, so I can't stay like late or anything. And I'll see how my head feels as well, so yeah, let's do. Hello, it is Monday. Very much Monday. I actually woke my ass earlier today to continue reading The Wicker King. I only got a little bit done yesterday. I just couldn't focus. I was a bit too distracted. However, I'm now on page 205, so I have this chunker left. It's not a chunker, I think it's like 100 pages, and I think I'm just gonna give myself time to finish this and enjoy it. I am enjoying it more now. It's very I'm excited to see. I'm just about to, well, not just about, actually, what is this? In 30 or so pages, I'm about to hit like completely black pages. And I'm excited to see where we go. It's very uncomfortable to read from time to time because it's supposed to be. It's a very possessive relationship. It's a very codependent. It's very controlling. And it kind of goes both ways sometimes. And I think there's this character that kind of tells August, like, I don't think you want to hear this, but this is not healthy. And he knows. It's a weird, screwed up dynamic. But it's very much the point of the story, so I really don't think that it's pretending to be anything but. So it's interesting. I'm enjoying it. It's a unique experience, but I'm excited to see what I think later on this week and give you my final thoughts in the next vlog. But I just wanted to come in here and talk about the fact that from the previous vlog, it would kind of make this one a reading rush vlog. I'm going to treat this vlog as a normal reading vlog. It doesn't change the video much whatsoever because I was attempting the reading rush very low-key without doing any of the video prompts or participating in any other shape or form than to just roughly try and use the prompts for motivation. I don't use Twitter, so all I know is thanks to Cody, who updates me from time to time. So basically, I was made aware that there were a couple of things about Reading Rush this year that was a little bit out of touch. They apparently also published their announcement on Juneteenth. Me and Jade had our weekly live stream scheduled on that day, but we decided to postpone because it just simply didn't seem like the attention should be on us on that day when there were a lot of brilliant Black creators live streaming and creating content on that day. So that was also an interesting choice. I think the most recent thing that came up was they apparently had a book club read, which again I didn't know about because I was doing this so low-key. I just did not check. The book is called Such a Fun Age, and I have not read it, so I can't again speak about it, but from what I've seen on Twitter, it is a lot about white wokeness and performative allyship, and apparently the host did not quite finish the book. I assume a lot of people were hoping for a good discussion around the topic, and instead the live stream turned into like a general chat. If you want to read it and you still really like to have that discussion, I know that Unfriendly Black Hotties book club will be talking about this soon, so I will link their YouTube channel in my description if you still want to participate too. Just wanted to like finish it off and say a massive thank you for watching this and hanging out with me. I hope you guys have a wonderful week. Chat to me in the comments, and I hope your reading has gone well as well. I love you so much. You are so very appreciated. I hope you have a wonderful day ahead of you. Stay awesome, stay kind, stay safe, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!